The former president was found guilty of 34 felony counts in that hush money trial. And I'm joined now live by Dan Mallinson, who's an associate professor of public policy and administration at Penn State Harrisburg. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
From your vantage point, how likely is this guilty verdict to change the minds of any voters?
Thanks. It's very hard to know. I mean, I know there's been a lot of polls flying around, but this is a race where both candidates are very well known. The former president, people have very clear opinions about him, both positive and negative. There's a lot of voters who this won't change their minds at all. But in a race that, especially in Pennsylvania, came down to very narrow margins in 2020, even small losses can be very meaningful in this race. But it can certainly cut both ways for the former president. It could remove support from him of people who do change in those margins that change their vote and vote for Joe Biden. But it also can be beneficial in motivating his base that really feels like this was a miscarriage of justice.
Yeah, obviously a lot can happen between now and November. Can we trust some of these instant polls, or do we need to wait it out?
We're going to have to wait it out. It's very early. Much can change between now and then. And so it's really hard to know what we can infer right now from these quick polls.
We're obviously in uncharted waters here.
Yes, very much so. An historic moment, but a lot to be seen about how this actually impacts the election.
In terms of the electorate, do you think this is even more polarizing? I mean, our nation seems so divided, especially along political lines.
Well, probably my biggest concern is that you're starting to see from strong Trump supporters concerns about, they're expressing concerns about the reliability of the justice system and their faith in democracy and in the justice system. And that's certainly concerning moving forward. I don't know that increases, or it certainly doesn't decrease the polarization, but it's certainly emblematic of us being further driven apart.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.